In terms of, this has actually come, I'm going to read this.
Okay.
How do we become aware of any limiting beliefs and destructive unconscious patterns that will be holding us back from achieving any level of success in property investing? And that's come in via somebody to ask me.
Okay.
Don't want me to ask
All right.
you.
So that's kind of in two parts.
Yeah.
That question.
So we've got limiting beliefs, destructive unconscious patterns. How do we?
Okay. Well, first of all, number one is look at the results that you're getting in that specific area. Are you getting good results in the area of property investing? Yes, no. It's almost like a flow diagram, you know. And if the answer is no, then it could be that there's something that you're doing inside of yourself, inside of your mind, that isn't, not necessarily, because there are so many other factors involved. You know, we've got, you know, people letting you down, or, you know, whatever. But generally speaking, if you find yourself talking to other people and saying, I'm the kind of person that's a sign of a belief. That's like, that's what they believe about themselves.
Okay.
I always, you know, because one of the things that the brain does a few things with the information that it has. It distorts, it deletes, and it generalizes information. And so a belief is almost like, okay, this is something that I do, and it will apply to all.
Right.
So it's, you know, almost like a batch process. So I always do that. You know, so one of the things that I, you know, if I'm doing work and doing change work with somebody, you know, they'll say, oh, I always do this. And I say, always? What, are you doing it right now? Did you do it when you were 3? And sometimes I go, well, yeah, I did do it when I was 3. Okay, fine. Did you do it when you were 2? Are you doing it right now? And no. So we can generalise. So if you say things like, I'm just the kind of person, this is the kind of thing that always happens to me, things which just appear rigid and they bring a negative effect, that's usually a good sign that there's some sort of limiting belief on.
So if you say something like, deals always fall through on me, or
absolutely,
it's just going to continue.
And just to extrapolate on that, if that is the belief that you hold, if I pretend for a second that deals always fall through on me, and you're someone who I need to go and sell to or to negotiate with, if I know that, you know, if I know that whatever I do is effectively useless, because remember, I'm always kind of programming my subconscious mind with everything I say, then if I've said, oh, everything always fails for me, and then I'm going to go, okay, Jill, so it's going to affect slightly my physiology. As I'm pretending that now, I feel a little bit, you know, not energised, and that it's almost like a little bit of a waste of time. You know, I'm just pretending, but the fact is that you communicate on loads of different levels. You know, and of course non-verbal is a big thing, and you know, if you've got a negative belief, it's going to very slightly affect your physiology as well, and that will come through. Because, you know, if you were really believed that everything that you did always worked, you probably wouldn't hold yourself like that.
No.
You know, because even if I try to think I'm really positive and things go well for me, while I'm doing that, I'm really positive. It just doesn't fit. So your physiology and your breathing are big factors to play in how you.
So if you were going to, going back to this question, if you were going to try and say how do I become aware of them, from what you've said, you almost need to step back and listen to listen to some stuff that's going on in your brain. And almost say, hang on, how am I talking to myself?
Well, write down, you know, the thing is, what you've got to do is write down the beliefs, what you do believe about yourself.
Okay.
You know,
and be honest, obviously.
Well, you can lie to yourself, and good luck. You know, you live in a fantasy world. It's not going to help you, probably, although it might do. But, you know, sort of think, well, you know, what are my beliefs? Because some people think that you don't get to choose what you believe, and that's nonsense. You do get to choose what you believe. And a belief starts with a thought, and then it continues with continuing to think about that thought, and if you can, you know, stick in emotional energy into that thought, then that's when the brain, you know, was going to start to pay attention, and then you're going to start moving in the direction that you want to move in.